mindset. And we kind of talked about this like earlier, but like, I think our society is just, we're so like, I think we're so clouded and we only see one way and all we want is the fastest route to whatever we want.
But it isn't the fastest route because people will spend, entire lifetimes being brutally sick and depressed. And so, when it comes to, I have clients that have, severe depression and they won't even do a 3-minute meditation. That seems too much to them, but they'd rather be in pain the whole day.
Yeah.
And so I remember I saw like a thing from Gabrielle Bernstein on her social media. And it was like, would you want to feel like shit every day? Or do you want to do something that will just help you for 20 minutes?
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's because people are self-sabotagers and they would rather remain unconscious
and in pain
than to actually face themselves in the mirror, because the way you heal is by looking at yourself. And that's what Ram Dass talks about in all of his poetry. And that's what Rumi's speaking about. Rumi's just speaking about the mirror of himself.
Yes.
Which connects you. And once you clean the mirror of your perception, which is looking at yourself, which is just a figure of God, you actually see God everywhere.
Right.
Because there's no separation.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Because, it's true. You're right. Because all the shit that you have, like you know it, but literally, the road it's going to take to like fix it. And people, like, you're right. People just want the way of whatever. They're like, you know what, this is fine. I'll just deal with this. And it's just, I'll just keep going with it every day. And you see it every day. You see it with, well, especially, in work and in just general with my friends too. And I see it and I'm just like, at this point, it's like you want to help and you want to say something, but I'm like, you're not, you don't want it. So.
I have a quote I'd like to read you. Yeah. I met this woman this weekend, not by coincidence, and she works with St. Michael, and she's pretty phenomenal. And she said this to me in my face. She said, let me find it.
Okay.
She said, this is words from St. Michael. Speak only to those whom you know to be your soul group. The rest give them love and move on. Know the truth. So what that means.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so I'll say it again. Speak only to those whom you know to be of your soul group. The rest give them love and move on. Know the truth. So what this means is, and this is good for you to know, is, and anyone who's listening, as you go through the process of awakening to this larger universe, the synchronicities and the spiritual growth becomes almost uncomprehendable to most people and individuals. And so I found myself, this is my personal experience.
Yeah.
I have found myself over the years trying to pull others. I mean, I can think of specific names, yank them to help them understand what's going on with me so that they could almost keep up with me.
Right.
I mean, to the point that I'm hurting myself.
Yeah.
And because I want them to be at my level, I want them to understand, I want them to have some sort of, I do it even now with my husband, and he has no idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
And so like, for an example of this would be, explaining the synchronicities that happen in my life, or just this magnificent events or the things I see, and he doesn't understand. What I found is over time is that if a magnificent event happened to me, which they will happen to you more and more, and I tried to tell people, they didn't understand. And I almost lost my power by trying to make them understand.
Yes.
And by trying to have them keep up, you almost give away your energy.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And so part of the process of, awakening is actually, it's a very isolating process because it's you looking at you while it's happening.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
So sometimes if you're going through it, try to find people that you can try to find that soul family group, which would be people that you immediately see and you're like, I'm your friend. And they just understand you, and they'll come, and you'll start to find them. The more you become who you really are, they're just going to be attracted to you because they're doing the same process. And those are the people that you work these sort of things out with. Okay. And those are the people you share your process with, or other people that are healers. Right. So, but with the people that don't understand, I've learned through trial and error trust me, it's not worth the time or energy because they don't want to hear it.
Right. And I feel like I went through that too. And it was just like me, because like my, basically just like telling my friends of like, this is what you need to do. This is what's going on. This is this. And for them, like, I finally noticed after several different like tries and like, big tries. And I'm just like, they don't care. Not that they don't care. It's just that they're nowhere near the mindset of being where where I'm going. They just, they're still back here. So I learned that the hard way too. And I was just like, you know what? I mean, it's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah. But that's also how evolution works. As I'm writing this book, I see who it's going to hit on Earth. And as I've written these, mystical motherhood and the next book I'm creating, Fertile, people are saying, how much marketing are you going to do? What are you going to do to put it out there? And I know, and I trust that the people it's supposed to get to, it's absolutely going to get to them. So it's really not about numbers, and it's not about quantity. It's about quality. Right. And so I wanted to bring this up because evolution, if everyone on this earth were to, rise up and awaken at the same time, there would be no such thing as evolution. And so does that make sense? So what we have to do is the ones that are supposed to awaken, they're going to awaken the way they're going to do it. And that's how the world will change. And then those children will awaken more. And then it can happen at a faster process, which will happen, I believe. But it's not our decision of when that evolution should occur. Right.
Exactly.
And it only hurts you because I know you're having friends that your doors are being slammed on you. And in a way, what they're showing me is as these people are slamming doors on you, it almost creates this beautiful kind of geometric shape of all these doors around you. And you're like, this is okay. And because it shoots you directly up to heaven.
I was just going to say, like, I'm actually not that upset about
No, yeah, you're fine with it. It's kind of like you laugh. That's what they're showing me is that, let's say there's 6 doors around you,
Yeah.
And your mom closes it and everybody closes it. But what that does is it separates you from that type of energy of these people, because there's many, many quotes on it. Hang out with the people that you want to emulate or be around. If you want to be successful in business, go and be at business conferences.
Exactly.
If you want to be successful in, becoming spiritually awakened, go and be around those type of people.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. But that's, very true to your point. Some of the relationships that are like shifting with me and like going, kind of just separating, I'm very okay with it. Yeah. Like, it's not hurting me. I'm just like, I'm okay. Like, this is actually a very good cleansing experience for me.
And then it's just like that energy is when one door closes, shuts, another one opens. And so what this is, all these doors are shutting, but what it does is it creates a vacuum to the universe. Yeah. Because then it's only you. Yep. And you kind of need to go inside when you're going through this type of process and need that time alone, because then it connects you with who you really are, which is above.
Exactly.
It's really cool, right?
No, I'm like that. This is the best thing ever. I'm like, so before I used to be so afraid of like losing, I wasn't married, but like losing a boyfriend or losing friends. And like, if anything, like I was thinking like, what would I do on the weekends? Like, who would I hang out with? Like, where would I go? And now I'm just like, actually okay. Like, I want to stay by myself on a weekend. I'm like, if everybody left me, it'd be okay, you know?
Right.
So,
You just want to be alone more. But, also just, this is a side note. It may not be in your case, but I found it for my case is I did